Hi, hello, and welcome. We are going to be taking a peek into the month of March for all fire sign placements. We're looking at Aries, we're looking at Leo, and we are looking at Sagittarius. I want to offer right off the bat. I know a lot of astrologers and psychics on social media are making a big deal out about March, and they're not wrong. March's astrology is what I have considered to be literally jaw dropping. But to me, it's like it's so potent for spiritual upgrades, for relationship upgrades. Like there's so much go juice coming in for us collectively. So I don't want you guys to stress about March. Like, enough with the stress. We've had enough. It's like, honestly, I know this sounds so silly. Stress is boring. I'm done. I'm over it. So we're going to start with Aries. We're going to see what's upcoming. We do have some pretty transformational energy coming in for everybody with 2 eclipses, Venus retrograde, Neptune finally moving into Aries after what, like 14 years or something like that. We got what do we got for Aries? Let's zoom in. Let's take a peek-see. Take a little peek-see poo. Let's see if we can get this lighting a little bit better too. Yes. Page of Swords, contemplating the future and the source. So Aries, no big deal. This just feels like a whole lot being connected to the Venus retro, because retrogrades are about review, contemplation, reflecting. This Page of Swords, I'm actually going to get a clarifier on. The Page of Swords sometimes shows up as like my podcast card, or just like this feeling like I need to talk about something justice. Couple things with this. For a couple of you, I think March might be the month where you start getting really invested and speaking up for human rights. This feels very social justice to me when I put this together. It feels initiative, feels very Aries. It feels very put your money where your mouth is. It feels let's lead by demonstration. This feels very community oriented. This feels delicious to me. This feels so strong. This could be the beginning stages of it. You might not necessarily see yourself taking full action in March, but this is definitely where we start to lay the groundwork as we figure out where we want to go. The other thing I'm getting with this for Aries is March might be the month where you're finally, if you have not yet, you're like, you know what, it is actually time I get my nervous system in alignment. Swords are the mental space, the nervous system, communication systems, how we process information. Justice is always my balanced nervous system card. It's getting in alignment, calibration between the right and left hemispheres of the brain, the doing, the receiving, feeling like I am where I'm supposed to be, accepting that this is your reality and just being with it. Because I think, especially for those, there's one of you that has kids or a kid on the way where this is going to be even more crucial and important. I think as you're thinking about the future, you're like, well, if I'm going to be in any position of, parenting or taking care of anybody other than me, like I have to get right. Like I have to get in alignment because you are the source of your reality. Yes, we're coexisting. Yes, we're co-creating. Yes, there are many things that are beyond our control, but ultimately this is kind of giving awakening around just how much your attention matters when it comes to what shows up on your timeline. You are the source of your imagination. You are the source of your creation. Where are you pointing your attention? But there is something really strong coming up about like getting a voice, getting your voice heard, speaking up when there is injustice, like understanding that the future that a lot of us want to see where, basic human rights are on the table for everybody, like no matter your gender, your nationality, whatever, that's going to have to come from us. Like the folks who have been running the show, for the past age or so, they're not going to be the ones to do it. It has to come from us. And this is kind of feeling like that realization. One other thing with Aries, I tried to record this a little while ago and it just cut off in the middle of what I thought was a pretty fire reading. There's going to be a couple of you that go through a lot of emotional processing around relationships. It might feel like a little bit of a dark night of the soul. And I felt it being very tied to the first eclipse, which I believe is in the middle of the month in March. So just be aware of that. The more honest you are with your emotional health, health, the better. It leads to a massive, I want to say like emotional upgrade around matters of codependency. Like I could see Aries easily, not easily necessarily because it's going to feel a little rough, but hacking codependency wounds, meaning that you don't have to go through that shit again. Okay. So that's what I got for Aries. Leo. What's on the table for Leo for March? Feelings. It's going to be a very, very feeling heavy month with everything going on in Pisces. And I always tend to, I don't know what it is. 9 times out of 10 during an eclipse, I just cry for like, I don't know, the entire day. The entire day. All right, Leo, this is looking a little intense. Let me sit with this. I do want a clarifier on the like what is being destroyed. Leo, you've got to be very careful about taking things personally this month. I'm feeling victimization with this, especially because there's grief showing up here too. First of all, I'm never going to read anybody negatively ever. Not that I don't think I read people negatively, period, but I'm never going to judge somebody for going through grief. Leo risings, this is hitting, I think, because you've just been like, I'm a Leo rising. We've been had by this Mars and Cancer BS. It's been dragging through our 12th house. It's a lot. But there's a little bit of a warning here, Leo, about a hyperfixation on loss, a hyperfixation on being hurt. This is definitely Venus retrograde energy. I don't know about you guys. The past 2 times that Venus was retrograde in Aries was 2017 and 2009. I was in a relationship both those years and around the time that Venus was retrograde, those relationships, it was rough. I mean, the ending of those relationships literally like collapsed my timeline. I almost didn't make it for many, many reasons for both of them. But that was because I had not begun to heal my codependency triggers, my own trauma. I was, especially in the first one, really both of them, I was still very addicted to certain substances. And in order to kind of heal from that, there had to be a lot of emotional reckoning. So, Leo, this might be a month of very intense emotional reckoning, especially again with everything that has been going on with this Mars and Cancer for Leo risings. I really feel for you. Now, here's the thing. The Page of Wands is kind of coming in here. This feels like a way to kind of pull yourself out of the pit. Engaging in creativity. I have this passion card right in the middle, which I haven't even begun to talk about yet. This kind of feels like, hey, yes, let yourself grieve, let yourself feel. There's a lot. I'm feeling very like thinking about old relationships. This feels very tender. I really want to be careful with this one because you got to be able to feel your feelings. And eclipses do have a way of just bringing stuff up like from the depths. But I almost feel like your guides or your kids or like somebody like, hey, like, things get to coexist. Feelings get to coexist. You can have grief and excitement and joy all at once. You don't just have to be focused on one thing. This I'm a little bit more concerned about because this is kind of giving bitterness, resentment. Why not me? Or why me? I'm feeling like flip a table energy with this. And maybe that's what you're going to have to do, Leo. Like the burning with passion is taking all of this emotional energy and transmuting it or turning it into something. One of you is a musician. They're saying maybe even somebody with a Taurus placement as well. This is going to turn into like the most fire music you have ever made in your life. You're about to, I don't know if this is like something that's literally, if you want to be famous, like this is the song. This is the song. This is the song that you're writing. This is how you transmute it. If you are not a musician, that's okay. I do think this center card, this burning with passion, is the key to hacking the emotional weight and density that I'm picking up here, transmuting it, writing something in your journal, moving your body so the energy has somewhere to go. Collaging, like, I don't know. My prediction for 2025 for a lot of folks, especially around this time, especially around March, is that people that didn't realize that they had all this creative energy are going to find that creative energy. And it's just going to completely transform how you think about yourself as a creative person. So heavy stuff for Leo. Okay, this is a lot, but this is the key. I don't know why, if one of you is really into Grimes music, there's something about her music that's coming up here. There's a song that she made. I actually use it as inspiration when I'm writing fanfic. Spoiler alert, I'm a big nerd. Or drawing certain characters that have a certain emotional depth to them. It's called So Heavy I Fell Through the Earth. Maybe those of you that are like, okay with listening, I know that she's controversial, but like those of you that are okay with listening to her music, listen to that song. Listen to that song. I'll try to make a note to remember to put it that link to that song in the comments. It's so this, and I feel like this is like how you make it into something meaningful that doesn't just get stuck in your body. Okay. All right. That's Leo. Let's look at Sagittarius. Last but not least. It's a really beautiful. So I don't know. I used to draw. I remember I was really into Darth Vader comics for a while, like really into them. And I loved drawing him. And I got really good at drawing him listening to that song. All right, Sag. Very different energy. Wildly different energy. All three of you guys, very different. Let's see what we got. Persistence. I'm hearing something about legacy. Oh, that's because it says legacy. Duh. Okay, duh. I must have seen that. That's not me being psychic. That was me not recognizing I saw that with my eyeballs. One moment, please. TV is buffering. Isn't this interesting? Abstract and mechanical, which are two opposites. What are we being persistent about here? The instigator. Look at that fire coming in for you. Okay, Sag. Two different messages. Very different. The Four of Wands is one of the most joyful cards in the tarot. It can represent weddings, ceremonies, celebrations. I call it the card of foundational joy. It's like the platform from which joy arises. It's using joy as a foundation in your life, in your work, and in your relationships. Now, some of you might actually, I don't know if maybe, one or two of you is actually getting married. And it feels so beautiful, and it feels kind of like the coming together of different worlds. Like maybe you and your partner are super different. Like you're one of you is like the super artsy, kind of spiritual one. The other is a little bit more left brain, but still into like futurism and that kind of stuff. This feels really fun, this combination. And it kind of feels like I knew it was going to come if I just waited long enough. So for one or a couple of you guys, this is a celebration of your partnership. I love this. It's kind of like proof that magic is real within relationships, that manifestation is real. This does feel like something that you had to kind of like maybe push for, or something that you instigated to a certain degree. So just take this as kind of validation that, I don't know, you two feel like aliens in love to me is really what it feels like. The other message is I feel a little bit of impatience. This is especially true if you are a Sagittarius with Gemini placements as well. Like when is it my turn? When is it my turn? I'm not feeling despondency though. I need to validate that. This still feels kind of like exciting. It feels like you're manifesting in my favorite way to manifest, which is to just put it out to the universe that like, I cannot wait. I cannot like what I don't know what it is that I'm waiting for. In this case, it really might be partnership, some kind of celebration. Opposites attracting. Two parts of you coming together, even, right? The creative and the more left brain mechanical. I'm just going to put it out to the universe. I'm super excited and I can't wait for this to happen. Keep putting that out there. This in a reading in general for Sag feels really, really open through the heart space. This feels very proactive in paying attention to where you're pointing your attention. I'm feeling a lot of like, dude, if I want it, I have to go get it. Like I can't like, yeah, we can do the passive kinds of manifesting where we're kind of like putting in the imaginal work. We're falling asleep, assuming the things happen. But, if you want a job, you got to apply to a job. If you want a relationship, it might behoove you to go out and meet people, or go. I'm very anti. Personally, this is just me. I am not a dating app girly. I don't like them, but that is also how you do meet people. I'm also single and I don't like dating apps. So there you go. Um, if you're a Sag who is not in a relationship, I want you to think about how you can marry these different parts of your consciousness. How do we calibrate and balance the part of you that is very rational, systemic, methodical, with the part of you that is a dreamer and, a little bit more creative, a little bit more chaotic? Like, how do we bring and marry those two parts together? Okay. So that's what I got for everybody. I'm excited for March. Like I said, don't let any naysayers on TikTok or Instagram or any of these places bring you down. I'm excited for everybody. I hope you guys have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next time. Make sure you like and follow. All right. Bye.